Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Common Ground. My name is Josh. That's Chris. We are your two favorite political commentators. And this week we're going to bring you something a little bit different. Some of you guys may not be interested. Some of you guys may be interested. It's one of the biggest stories that I think that's come out um, in quite a while. I mean, I had talked to Chris about this, and we were both pretty shocked. It was
It
just
is
something
it is
completely
news.
out the
So,
blue. Yeah, yeah,
and it was
definitely news.
headline news. So I mean, I find an intrinsic interest in it. I think other people are going to as well. And Josh and I are going to throw it on the table. It was headline news, so we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
What was the big news of the week, Josh? And then let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the biggest thing to come out this week is the revelation that we are not alone. So there is a government, he's a whistleblower. He was working for the government offices where they actually investigate unidentified flying projectiles or whatever they call it now, but the UFOs. So he was actually working as part of, within this government organization, and he came out this week and actually said some things that were kind of wild. So basically, he's saying that the government has alien or spacecraft from an origin that's not from this planet, and that they've had this or they've been doing this for decades now, and that he's seen the evidence himself. So it's pretty wild, pretty out there.
And he's a
And I thought, yeah,
he's a fairly credible dude. He's a retired
yes,
or um, Air Force, I believe it was. His name was David Grush, or so I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I mean it's worthy of a discussion. I mean because it does tie into our government and the government. Um, what are they telling us and what aren't they telling us? I mean, we know they lie about everything else. Are they lying about aliens? I don't know, but we're going to dive into this a little bit and see what Josh and I can come up with. Um, so, what do you think they're doing here, Josh?
man. So normally I wouldn't even touch the subject. I normally wouldn't even read and stop and read the story. This guy is very credible, like Chris mentioned. Air Force veteran, veteran of a few government organizations, very well respected and trusted within his field. This
And he's been
guy
in,
just
he's been in some of these intricate places where this information would be there.
yeah. Yep. Cross verified by there's a few people that also work with him that are also verifying both some of the information that he has and as well as the positions that he held. This guy just retired in April from the government, so this isn't 20 years old. This isn't old news or anything like that. He's credible. He's worked for the government and he has this information, and probably the most credible report that we've had come out maybe ever.
Yeah,
So, I don't have a reason to not believe the things he's saying. And from the things I've been reading from other experts that are involved in the field, they also don't have any reason to doubt his story. So it's
yeah.
kind of
So,
crazy that we're here.
yeah, so we're a political minded show. We thought it would be fun to go at this one. We don't want to turn this into Ancient Aliens series because we are trying to
Looking
do
at you,
good things
History
for the
Channel.
country. What's that?
Yeah. Looking at you, History Channel.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You guys went off the rails with the alien stuff a couple years back. So we're not trying to go down that route. We're just trying to bring some different content and some things to keep people's attention. My opinion is I have a couple opinions on this, brief ones. One is I'm not a big believer in aliens. I'm a of the mindset that I need to see shit with my own eyes. Are they possible, plausible? Yes. It'd be hard for me to commit to it, just like Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, all that stuff. So is there something? Yes. What is it? I don't know. And here we go down the road of opinion, which is basically what this is going to wind up on both of our heads because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Um, so I have two versions of this. One is um, along the lines of our government, and I don't know if you agree with this or not. I mean, this could very well be a deflection tactic. I mean, we find things in the government that deflect from look at this over here, don't look at this over here. Is that possible? Yeah, I mean, it is going to take people's attention off the ball here. Is it a manufactured thing? I don't know. I am of the belief it's very possible that they're using this to deflect away from the elections that are coming up and give people some fun things to think about that aren't relevant to what's really going on. The other thing is, real quick, and then I'd like to hear your opinion on this because I'm not a believer in the typical little green and gray men or whatever with coming from planets all over the galaxy. I'm not really a big believer in that. What I do believe is it makes sense to me is a lot of this alien talk is actually future humans traveling back in time. I do think we do gain that technology 500 years, 1,000 years from now, whatever it may be. And that's what I think aliens are. And what do they have right now? I'd like to see it. Show me something. This guy that's blowing the whistle here. Show me something besides your words. I do think he's credible, but I need to see something. And I don't just want to see a piece of a metal air or UFO, like a piece of metal with some hieroglyphics written on it. That don't prove nothing to me. He claims also that they actually have some of the pilots of these vessels. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but you need to show me something.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm the same way. You have to show me. I can't you can't tell me a story about Bigfoot and have me believe you, or anything like that. I don't. Uh, and again, me and Chris are not experts. We're not astrophysicists. We're not you know in regards to this subject, we're not experts at all. But from what I understand, there's billions of stars, and out of these stars, every a lot of stars have planets revolving around them. So out of these billions of stars, there's trillions of planets. And it's the universe is so big that I'm of the belief that there's no way that we're alone. There has to be something out there. Has to be something out there. Whether we made contact or not, that's the big question for me. So in regards to this guy, and from because they have asked him, about this evidence or about to show any pictures, and apparently he does have the evidence, and he's also been relating some of this information to Congress as well. But he basically told the news outlet that he wasn't able to divulge just because of national security concerns, which kind of makes sense. Especially the guy just got out of the government in April, so it's
Yeah.
still fresh. I'm sure there's concerns there, even if it's not aliens. There's still information that you're not able to divulge. So I understand that part.
I could see that too. That if this was true, and there was real evidence, and they brought that to the attention of not just this country, that would get through the world.
The world.
It wonders me what would happen if it was true. I mean, I think a lot of people would panic. I guess I would kind of support the government covering this up. Maybe I don't know. I'm not for they lie about so much, but what would happen? I don't know. I could see it being a national security issue. I could see it being a risk to the world. But you know, with all the things going on, is this something I'm going to dive too deep into? No. The reason I wanted to talk about this was just for the mere fact that our government's involved with this, whether people like it or not. And what are they hiding? Or what are they not hiding? Can somebody just tell us the truth? They,
Yeah, and the government has tons of these programs. I mean, back in the 50s, and 60s and 70s and 80s, when anytime we're testing new aircraft or the one of the big things was or the B-2 bomber when we were first developing that, there was tons of sightings of UFOs, and it's just a new aircraft. People didn't know, and the government hides these things, actively. They're right now working on aircraft that we have no idea about. When we went and got Bin Laden, we suddenly found out about a new helicopter, which we had developed for years, and
yeah.
nobody knew. So there is technology that the government actively hides. They do run programs that are top secret and not many people have access to, and they do keep secrets. So
And
it's
I'm
not far
okay with
fetched.
that on I'm okay with that on some levels. I mean, on a military level. The other aspect of this is with technology, we have these phones, we got all this stuff. and the best you can give me is a grainy little picture of a little white dot up in the sky. Same thing with Bigfoot. Everybody has, oh, Bigfoot's real, and you give me a picture of a mass of hair a mile away, and his little face is peeking around the side of a tree or something. I may look like Bigfoot. If I don't shave for a week, who the hell knows? So there's that element of it. We'll see what happens. I think I want the government to be honest with me with everything up to and including this. I mean, it goes down a road that we're not typical. We never thought we were going to go down on this show, but it was something interesting. I will say this: there's also a possibility that maybe the mothership is coming back to pick up all the Democrats. They dropped you all off here and said, look, these guys are fucking up everything. We got to go back and pick them all up. It was an experiment that went wrong. Now they done got the whole country fucked up. And the mothership says, we better go pick them up so they don't wreck the whole country. I don't know. It's just a fun theory I have. I don't know. What do you think about that theory?
Uh, well, any of you guys look it up. The economy, the country, everything does better historically under Democrats. Now, I'm not gonna you know say that that's a direct correlation,
We
but
know that ain't true, folks.
just the way history has worked so far, especially within the last 100 years. If you look at the chart of and pick any category, and compare it to which president is in charge, so I don't think they're here. I mean, hey, listen, I'd be down to discover new worlds, new planets, all that stuff. There may be Democrats in other planets. I'd be
I'd be
shocked, and
that's a horrifying thought right
it's a
there.
scary
I'd be
thought, right?
down for them
We're
sucking
not just
all the
here, man.
Democrats out of
We're
here, taking them to another planet, let them fuck that. All kidding aside, I mean, just having a little fun here. Um, I don't know. I don't really have a lot more substance to this. It interests me, but it interests me on a more of a personal level. I do. I enjoy mysteries and things of that nature, paranormal things like that. Just a little tidbit of information about my personal life. It interests me. I don't want to have this discussion again. We'll see what happens or nothing. Um, and if it's a deflection tactic because of something else that the swamp people are doing, we'll find out eventually. So, but
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. Hopefully, we won't we won't delve. You won't see us turn into an alien podcast here and covering that. Although
It,
I
it,
certainly believe if you guys ever watch Men in Black, I'm pretty sure we have a few members of Congress that are hiding their true skin underneath
for all
their
Gen
human
Xers that
bodies.
are watching, you guys got to get behind me, all Gen X, because we have actually some authority on this. We had Alf, we had Starman, we had what else did we have back in the day for ET? ET,
ET.
he was a Republican from what I was looking up last night, uh, and ET wanted to go home because he wanted to get the hell out of here because he said they're Democrats. I got to get the hell, and he tried to make a phone out of a record player and stuff. And so we have some authority to speak on this, Gen X. You guys nowadays have some binary fucking something from Planet Tutu or something. I'll go with my old school stuff.
Et, hey, listen, if he was Republican, I wouldn't be surprised he was trying to get out of here. Reaganomics
Of,
was not the best thing for
of
his
course he
country.
was. Of course he was Republican. He's like, what the fuck? And he got lost here by accident. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's all I got about this stuff. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds because it could be a world altering event if there are such a thing as these little green or gray people or whatever the hell they look like.
Yeah, hey, for those dismissing this story and don't want to just imagine what would happen if, let's say, November of 2024 comes rolling around and this news actually drops, or we get it would affect everything. Everything that currently in your life would be affected, including politics,
Well,
everything. So
let me ask you a political question real quick before we wrap this up. If there was, and this is true, and there are little people they got hidden some in some bunker out in Area 51, and they expose this. Do you really want Joe Biden to be the guy exposing all this stuff? Or if we
Now,
were ever under an alien invasion, do you want him to be the guy handling this? Come on.
I don't want anybody currently in charge, and I'm trying to think. So aliens come visit us from an intergalactic planet, from some planet light years away, and these are the people that we pick to be our leaders. It's not just Joe Biden. I'd be embarrassed if Trump. I'd be embarrassed if McConnell went to meet him. I'd be embarrassed. Like that's representative of us. These are our representative. We 300 something million people in this country picked that guy. Or like I said, it's not about Biden. Trump. Any of those
Could
guys. Could you imagine Trump meeting an alien? Oh, that ship is
could
nice,
you
but
imagine our
my ship is more bigly. What? Like any of these guys, I'd be embarrassed about. It's yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
Trump has a
not
bigger
Biden.
button than they do,
None
and
of
his
those
button
guys.
works.
Yeah.
It's fun to make jokes of it and stuff, but could you imagine? Maybe the White House is a fucking spaceship, and all the space people. Maybe all our politicians are space people. I don't know, but it's fun to think about. It's fun. We had a little fun with this video. I enjoyed it. I had to talk Josh into actually doing it because we had a little disagreement on the attention span we were going to keep, but I enjoyed the conversation, man. It was something different, and we'll get back on track here now after this, folks.
Yep, yep. Get right back to our regularly scheduled program, and we're not going to turn into the History Channel here. So, thank you guys for
Yeah.
joining us for another episode. We'd like to remind you, we're trying to grow here. We've been, I've been surprised by the attention we've gotten. But if you guys can like, share, subscribe, just make sure to give our page some love here, and we'll keep trying to bring you guys new content every week.
Yeah, stand up for America, folks. Stand up. We all need to stand up for our country.
Yep. So, have a good night, guys. Thank you for joining us.